One of the big reforms that you've been talking to me about for a long time now is on energy and the energy system. Where is the low-hanging fruit there in your mind?
Well, I think, if anything, the developments since the election around this spike in electricity prices shows that we are absolutely right to be focused on how we get more renewables into the system so that we can get energy prices down over time. You know, that spike in energy prices is a consequence of a decade now of our predecessors stuffing around with energy policy. We want certainty in energy policy. We want it to be sensible, working with the business community and others to get the right settings in place, because we cannot be hostage to those kind of spikes in the future. The best way to do that is to improve the energy mix, and that means more renewables.
You and I were around and remember the whole CPRS drama for Kevin Rudd, and the Greens opposed it. In hindsight, obviously, many would have changed their behaviour if they knew how things would evolve over the last decade. But in the current context, your emissions target, if you can't legislate it with the Greens, say they don't support it again in the upper house, what do you do in that context? Do you carry on without legislation?
Well, I hope that they've learned from that earlier period, and I'm not here to kind of, engage in the history wars about that period. I think that mistake is self-evident. We've had now a decade now of climate inaction because of that decision, and so I hope they've learned from that respectfully. But our intention is to implement the policy that we took to the election. We know from our modelling, we know from the good modelling and work that the Business Council of Australia did and others, that is the best way to deal with the climate challenge in a way that gets cleaner and cheaper energy in the system, boosts investment and creates jobs.
So your target,
those are our objectives.
That's it. And you've got the mandate now, I guess, with the majority. If they don't cop it, you crack on with that, target.
We intend to implement our target and our policy. Chris Bowen has made that clear, Anthony Albanese and myself, since the election. We want to work with anybody who shares our objectives about getting cleaner and cheaper energy into the system and bringing all of those economic benefits which are so clear now. We want to work collaboratively, but we intend to implement the policy that we took to the election.
Would you also, I guess, you'd urge the coalition to back you on that, because now, as I say, you've got that majority locked in. Do you think there's a chance that mandate might be respected?
Well, I hope so, but to be blunt about it, Kieran, I think Peter Dutton is just a different kind of bulldozer. You know, he's a different bulldozer with a different coat of paint. And so, I suspect that he will play from the Tony Abbott playbook and the Scott Morrison playbook, and that shows that the Liberal Party have learnt absolutely nothing from the election result a couple of weekends ago. We want to work with the whole community, including different parts of the parliament, to implement our climate change policy. We hope they come along with us, but our expectations are pretty low.